Hello everyone, welcome back to the fifth part of making this beautiful green sweater. So today I'll be completing the body part of the sweater and in the next part I'll complete the sleeves. So let's start where we left. In the previous video I have completed the heart part and today I'll start from here. As you can see, I have already marked the dividers of front and back part. These two dividers will be our armhole gaps actually. Now I'll mark exactly the previous stitch of the divider. That's the left side I am marking. That will be our last stitch of the front part. Similarly, at the right side, I'll skip a stitch using a slip stitch as you can see. Then I'm making 3 chains. That will be our first double crochet stitch, and from the next chain onwards I'll be continuing the double crochets. So I'll come back at the end of this row. This is the second last double crochet of this row, which I'm doing right now, and this is the last double crochet of this row. So this row has been completed. See, this is the starting of our armhole gaps. Similarly, I'll repeat this row 5 times more. So in total there will be 6 rows with double crochets. From the next row, I'll start with shaping the neckline. I'll go with a basic round neckline here. I have marked the neckline according to my required neck width. I have left a total of 20 stitches in the middle. Now let's start with the right end. Now chain 3, and from the next stitch I'll do regular double crochets. I will stop exactly before the marked stitch. See, I have completed the double crochet stitches. Now in the marked stitch, I'll do a single crochet. Now for the all stitches in the middle section, I'll do slip stitches up to this previous stitch of the marked stitch. In this marked stitch, I'll do a single crochet as I did earlier at the right hand side. See, this gives a round shape to a neckline. Now from the next stitch, I'll continue with double crochets. This is my desired width for the neckline. Now let's meet after finishing this row. This is how it looks after completing the first row. See, our neckline is quite visible. Now let's move on to the next row. For the next row, I'll mark again 2 stitches. See, there is a peak each side of the neckline. So I'm marking that stitch here. From that stitch, I'll start my next row. From now onwards, I'll do the remaining part of the front side separately, and I'm starting off with the right side as you can see. Chain 3, and from the next stitch do double crochets. See, I'm hiding the remaining yarn underneath the stitches. I'll be continuing with the double crochets and I'll come back before the mark stitch. Let's do a single crochet in the mark stitch. See, the neckline shape is building gradually. Now I'm cutting the yarn here because I am doing the left and right side separately. So if I start the next row from here, the stitches will look uneven. Now let's mark the third stitch from the left, and we need to do the double crochets up to this mark stitch. See, I have completed the double crochets. Now in the next stitch, which is the second last stitch from the left, I'll do a single crochet here, and the next stitch, which is the last stitch of this row, will be skipped. Now I'll be continuing the pattern for the next 4 rows. So let's come back after I complete the right side. So this is how it looks at the right side after completing the neckline. The neckline has been formed within these 6 rows. Now let's move on to the left side. Let's pass the hook through this mark stitch and pull the yarn through this stitch. Chain 1, and from the next stitch do double crochets. See, I'm hiding the leftover yarn underneath the stitches. See, the neckline has started forming. Now I will complete this side as we did the right one. So this is how our neckline is looking after completing both the sides. So the front part has been completed. Now let's move on to the back side of this sweater. Simply I'll be doing double crochets up to this row. We need to skip the armhole gap. So I'm skipping one stitch, and from the next stitch I'll start my double crochets. Similarly, we have to skip one stitch at the left side. I will come back after completing 10 rows at the back side. This is our back side after completing 10 rows. From the next row, I'll start the shaping of back neckline. Let's count and do a marking at 16th stitch. Make sure it matches with the front side. See, I have marked both the sides. Now let's do the shaping as we did in the front section. So our back neckline is also ready. Now I'm going to join the front and back side together. At first I am joining these two sides using a slip stitch, then turning the whole thing upside down. I am using a single crochet stitch for joining. Let's come back after I finish joining the front and back part together. This is how it looks after joining both the sides. Now to define the neckline, I'll do the ribbed pattern here. So let's start from the shoulder joint. Just pass your hook and attach the yarn like this. Now chain 1 and from the next stitch do single crochets all over the neckline. I am hiding the leftover yarn underneath the stitches. Let's come back after completing the single crochets along the neckline. Now do a slip stitch to complete the row. So our foundation row for the neckline border has been done. We are going to use the ribbed pattern we have used earlier for the waistband. Now chain 4, it will be the height of our neckline band, and do one extra, so total 5 chains. Next skip the last chain and start from the second chain. We have to do 4 single crochets here. Then make 2 slip stitches in the next 2 chains. As you know, for the ribbed pattern, we need to work in the back loops only. So I am doing single crochets in the back loop only. So 4 single crochets has been done. See, the ribbed look is already forming. Now chain 1 and turn it over. Then again do the single crochets in the back loops as I did earlier. Again slip stitches for the next 2 chains. I am going to repeat the rows for a couple of times more to make you understand better. Now let's come back after completing the neckline. So this is the finished look. Hope you have enjoyed. Catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.